Welcome to the ChannelX 2026 Leaders Interviews. Delighted to be joined today by Tejas, founder and CEO of Avasam. So welcome, how are you?
Thank you, Chris. Good afternoon. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Now, for those that don't know you, can you just introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you, because you and I have been in e-commerce for, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years. So who are you and what have you done in the past?
Yeah. So to be precise, it's nearly 22 years now that we both are in the e-commerce industry now. But yeah, I will introduce myself. So my name is Tejas Dave. I'm the founder and CEO of Avasam Enterprise, where I work with established e-commerce and retail businesses, and I help them to scale through the marketplace business model. Now, my background is in building and operating complex infrastructure, and not just to advise on it. Over the last several years, my team has launched and scaled multiple B2B marketplace, multi-seller, multi-vendor, dropshipping marketplaces across the different sectors. Now, the focus for myself and my team today is helping enterprise brands to add inventory at scale, unlock the new revenue stream, and to do it without increasing any operational complexity. So in the simple terms, what we are doing now is helping the brands who already have a demand to turn into the money.
Yeah, and money, as we all know, is what makes the world go round. But I've got a question for you, which is, why are traditional retailers and large e-commerce brands kind of hitting a growth ceiling, even when traffic is there and demand is strong? What's impacting their ability to grow and carry on accelerating their businesses?
So that's a very good question, Chris. There is one of the article and one of the survey has been released last week from SimilarWeb and Marketplace Buzz as well, where they have actually highlighted this specific problem. And the problem is it's more around the business model, what majority of the retailers and e-commerce sellers are using. And that is the current strategies, the growth strategies are still inventory led, and inventory does not scale efficiently. So the capital needs to get tied up in order to buy the stock before the demand is proven. And that actually slows the decision-making process and increase the risk. Now, the range expansion becomes very operational heavy. And strategically, it's not smart move. And what we are seeing that no matter how hard the established big retailers or the large e-commerce brands, the marketing team try, but the underlying model cannot support the meaningful expansion. So from my experience, what I've seen based on that, I can tell you that the ceiling is not a traffic or demand. It is the ownership model of inventory. So in a nutshell, the problem is structural. It's not the tactical.
Yeah, and that leads nicely onto my next question, because I totally agree with you. It's great to have your hero products in stock, owned, paid for, and fast selling, but not always great when you get the sort of longer tail products and the sell-through rates aren't as fast, but you still got the cost of inventory of that. And I think I've almost answered the next question, which is we're seeing more and more brands becoming platforms rather than just sellers or retailers. Why is the marketplace model becoming kind of the default strategy for enterprise growth? Is it purely the cost of inventory and the drive for growth that's driving this, or are there other reasons as well?
So I think if we take a one step back here, Chris, and if you think about it, that enterprise brands already have the hardest asset, which is the traffic, the trust, and the customers. Now, the marketplace business model allows them to monetize that audience without owning more stock. So it enables faster category expansions using third-party sellers or suppliers very easily. And from the risk point of view, it shifts from capital-heavy inventory to scalable operational, the orchestration. So that's why what we are seeing now, that the marketplace is no longer experiment for the enterprise businesses. They are a growth architecture. And as a result of that, we introduced Avasam Enterprise, and that actually allows the brands to make the transition in a much more controlled, branded, and operationally safe.
So I've got to ask the next question, which is, many enterprise teams believe, and through past experience in many cases, that launching a marketplace is very complex and quite risky from a number of factors, both from the technology side of getting it right, but also from the looking after their customers side, that the customer's happy buying from the brand, we look after them. Is it a risk to have third-party sellers selling to them? So there's the complexity of the technology side of actually creating a marketplace, but then also the risks of potentially diluting the brand loyalty by running a marketplace. What's actually involved today compared to 5 years ago? And are those risks the same as they were 5 years ago, or have we solved these problems?
So, I will answer this question in two different ways. So first of all, there was a psychological barrier. So before COVID, if you actually ask any online retailer saying that, hey, launch your marketplace, then they will get frightened. They will say that I cannot compete with Amazon, likes of eBay. I can't do that, right? So that was a huge psychological barrier. But I think one of the positive outcome of the COVID was that the digital transformation has allowed the businesses to try and test the marketplace model, and they have seen that the growth is there. So what I have seen 5 years ago, the marketplace business models were more custom, slow, and fragile. Now, every time when someone has to launch a marketplace, the team had to stitch together like the payment module, the onboarding module, like order flows, and synchronizations of the inventory, reconciliations of the payments, and all those were manually. Now today, what we have seen, with Avasam Enterprise and in general as well, that the enterprise grade platforms handle this entire process end to end. Now, that enables the supplier onboarding seamlessly, regardless what platform they use, what OMS they use. They can easily connect the catalog standardizations, the order routing, payment integrations, reporting, all are automated. And again, especially in last 2 years, we have seen a growth in the AI as well. That also makes the entire process of cleaning up the data, that also is a lot more simpler. Now, the real work where I see now is not the technology anymore. It is strategic clarity and the governance.
Yeah. and that brings me on nicely to the next question I wanted to ask, was strategy governance. It really comes down to the commercial impact and how the marketplace is going to impact the entire business. So can you shed any light on what enterprise clients typically see after launching their marketplace and the impact on their wider overall business?
Sure. As I mentioned earlier, that the majority of the current strategy who has not adopted the marketplace business model, that is inventory driven, like you mentioned, focused on hero products or seasonal products and grow. And it has a ceiling of the warehouse size or number of staffs or the technology what they are using, right? But when they actually genuinely implemented marketplace business model with the right strategy, with the right clarity, it allows the business to significantly expansion of the product range, without tying up any capital. Now that as a result of that, for them is they will be very fast to test and learn. So for them to launch a new category, new product range is going to be a lot more easier. And as you know that, the social channels like TikTok is playing a big role, that something becomes trendy today. And if you can't adapt, or if you can't bring those products on your site, on a marketplace, you actually lose the traffic. So those kind of things, when you are actually having your own internal supply chain systems, it could be very, very challenging. Also, it allows you to actually get a new revenue streams through the commissions, through the service charges, by implementing subscription models or the ads revenue. And as a result of that, your overall margins are going to get improved. And as a result, your business is going to won't grow linearly. So you will see your bottom line is improving on a time to time. And another thing is that because you are adapting the marketplace business model, you are building up the lot stronger partnerships with the other brands, with other suppliers, and you are also learning the trends. You are also getting a lot more data insights, and it allows you to scale your business in a much more professional way than what you can do on your own.
Wow, that's a lot to take in. So if we accept that marketplaces, I don't want to say they're easier than 5 years ago to implement, and you'll definitely need something like Avasam to power the back end for you. But if we accept that it's nowhere near as complex as it used to be, and that it's going to allow you to improve the bottom line and scale the business without having to get bigger warehouses and more loans to invest in more stock, then that naturally leads on to who should be considering launching a marketplace in 2026. And perhaps also, a surprising question, who shouldn't be launching a marketplace?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, because as I mentioned it to you, the psychological factor is launching a marketplace is such a huge thing, right? Because straight away you've been judged against such a big giants. So how do you position yourself, and how do you actually define your go-to-market strategy? And in last 7 years, we have seen many marketplace has done really well, and many marketplace has struggled. So what we observe that, and which I highlighted earlier as well, that who should launch a marketplace where the businesses who already knows how to drive the traffic. So the businesses with the strong graphic, the businesses who have a brand trust, and also the business who have an operational maturity, because that also plays a very important role in order to launch a business model like marketplace. Now, if you already have a customer, it's a no-brainer that with the limited range, you will get your ticket size is always going to be smaller. But when you are actually adding more inventory, it allows you to unlock the untapped revenue. So what we have noted that if your teams already stretch the margins, stocks, supply manually, and they are not able to manage any other lever in order to scale. I personally think that the marketplace will allow them to scale faster. So the business without the operational discipline, we have seen those businesses as failed miserably. So I personally think that the marketplace reward clarity, but they punish chaos. So any business who has a demand, who has a traffic, who has customers, and the brand loyalty, they are the business. I mean, those are the businesses should actually consider launching a marketplace. And the business who does not have any of those things, I think will struggle because it will take much more longer than what they anticipate. And just want to highlight one more thing here, that when you actually consider launching a marketplace, I highly recommend that with the current competition out there with the major marketplaces, going on a niche route is going to be a lot more powerful. It will allow you to compete very easily against other marketplaces. But if you want to be another Argos, or if you want to be another Temu, I think you will struggle.
Yeah. So I think what I'm taking away from this conversation is the first thing an enterprise that's thinking of launching a marketplace needs is maturity. I think is the easiest way of summing it up. They need to have all of their systems in place, a loyal customer base, the traffic to the website, but then don't just spray everything on the website. Keep it niche, keep it relevant, related products. I think the easiest way of describing that is put products on the marketplace that people would expect you to sell. If you're selling garden sheds, don't suddenly start selling fashion accessories, because it just doesn't align. If you're selling garden sheds, then other garden furniture and garden tools, and maybe adding plants or grass seeds makes a lot more sense. But keep it to products people may well expect to buy from you. So one other question before I let you go, Tejas. Tell me about Avasam Enterprise, because I've not really asked about that yet. What does Avasam Enterprise offer, and how can it help power a marketplace on an enterprise client's website?
Yeah. So, Chris, Avasam Enterprise solution we actually built in-house ourselves, in the past 7 years. It allows enterprise businesses to launch full end-to-end, either B2B, multi-vendor, multi-seller, or dropship marketplace. The way the technology has been developed, it's very easy to integrate with the existing front ends like of Shopify or ecommerce or Woo. Or if you do not have any of those front end, it also has its own front end, and also offers the full e-commerce experience, including the payment gateway integrations as well. Now, what is the key differentiator in the marketplace business model, with marketplace solutions compared to the other solution, is the commerce module, where the inventory is coming across multiple vendors. You want to make sure that there is a data standardizations, the claims what you are making, the wordings what you are using, is identical across the website. The images are also in line with the brand guidelines. So our commerce module take care of that. It cleans the data. We also have an AI layer which allows you to configure in a way that it is standardize your data set. So that's one of the key differentiator. And the second powerful module in the marketplace is the order split and the payment management. So we have partnerships with Adyen. We have a partnership with Stripe, which allows the retailers to manage the supplier payouts very easily. Also, the order split part, order tracking part, it's inbuilt. So from the businesses, who hasn't launched the marketplace yet, and when they go out, when they start looking at the solution, it's a very overwhelming exercise. And because we have run a marketplace ourselves, and running it for such a long time, we have a huge experience. So what we are doing, that we are offering that entire technology on a fraction of cost to the businesses, and allowing them to test. One of the strongest business architecture, which is growing day by day. We also have a service cloud module, which allows to set up the knowledge base, which is powered with the AI, managing the chats, tickets, all that can be managed just within one platform. The supplier onboarding part, the supplier qualification criteria, all those things is inbuilt. So from the business point of view, if someone wants to launch a marketplace and they don't know where to start, we have a end-to-end playbook available, right? Which we can, as a part of the solution, we don't just offer the technology, but we also offer the commercial knowledge, what we have, the operational knowledge, what we have, the do's and don'ts, right? We also actually provide that as a part of the onboarding and empower them to scale, online.
Fantastic. And what I'll do is I'll drop a link to your LinkedIn profile and to Avasam Enterprise below this video. So if anyone wants to get in touch, just look down below and you'll find the links. But Tejas, I want to thank you so much for sharing your experience today and also your insights onto who should be opening a marketplace, why, and the commercial impacts of opening a marketplace in your business. So thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you so much, Chris, for having me. Really appreciate the opportunity. And I hope your listeners will find this useful, and hopefully it will help them to shape 2026 better. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks.
Cheers.